I think that's a fairly offensive thing to say, actually. You know what, politics, it's not a game. And I am a bit disappointed in the way that, now I see the Premier's chipping in, and the other fellow, I can't remember his name, but, treating this like it's some sort of game. It's not. There's 750 jobs here in this project. What I'm here to talk about is our recovery plan from the COVID-19 recession and getting Queenslanders working with the sort of projects that make a huge difference. To get apprentices hired, to get young people back into work, to get traineeships happening, and to see transformational projects like this that we've been working on now for several years. And so, those who want to sort of look at things at that superficial level, I think that says a lot more about them than it does about us. I mean, this is a project that that immediately I understood its value, and I was much younger in my teens. I remember coming up here to Townsville and went on that milk run flight out to Cloncurry, dropping in at Ewington and and then at Juliet Creek and Cloncurry, and I've always understood this ribbon that runs out into the northwest here. And when I saw how this project could change this area, things like the Ewington Irrigation Project as well, massive projects for up here. And by the way, g'day to everyone out there at the Cloncurry Bowls Club. Hope that we get out there again soon. But that's what politics is actually about. It's not about all that rubbish, sledging. So if the others want to sledge about it, fine. That's up to them. We're here to actually get people back into jobs.
Prime Minister, what do you make of the LNP's plan to get Queensland back to surplus within 4 years of savings?
Well, I think it's important to be ambitious. I think it's important to be keen on fiscal responsibility. And I know that is Deb's and Tim's total focus. I mean, if I as Treasurer and previously working with Matthias Cormann hadn't been ambitious to get the budget back into balance before we hit this COVID-19 recession, I can tell you what, we wouldn't have had the firepower to respond like we have and put $101 billion into JobKeeper that's kept 3 million people in work. So, if you've always got to be conscious of balancing the books well and being conscious of every dollar. That's why our response to the COVID-19 recession has to be targeted, to be proportionate, to be temporary, and to ensure that we use existing channels to get that support out there so we didn't see the waste and mismanagement that we saw during the global financial crisis. I mean, in the last crisis we learnt from Labor what not to do, and in this crisis we're demonstrating how you do it and keep people in work. I mean, what we've just seen from the IMF is the IMF, this is before the budget, already revised up in terms of what they thought would be Australia's performance this year through the COVID-19 recession. They previously thought it to be greater than it was going to be, and now they've pulled that back because they could already see before the budget that we were making our way back. And our budget goes even further than that today. You would have seen the consumer confidence figures. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, confident response to a budget by Australians that we've seen. And that's why it's the budget that Australia has needed.
Ms Frecklington said that she'd be able to get Queensland back to a surplus through a lot of hard work and by growing the economy.
That's right.
If it's that easy, why hasn't the Federal government done that?
Well, that's how we got our budget back to balance last time. That's exactly how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. See, our guarantee is on the essential services that Australians rely on, whether that's the important mental health services they rely on, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, aged care, hospitals, schools, all at record levels. And I'll tell you what, you don't balance a budget by putting up people's taxes, and you don't balance a budget by filling office buildings full of public servants. You don't do that either. The way you actually balance a budget in this country is you get people off unemployment benefits and you get them into work. And that's our plan, and that's Deb's plan. And I think that's a plan worth backing.
But the Federal Treasurer himself said it was unrealistic to target surpluses for the full estimate, given what it would require in terms of significant increases in taxes.
Well, there's no doubt that Deb inherits, if she's to be elected Premier in this state, a pretty shocking set of books. There's no doubt about that. She certainly would have to, with Tim, start from well behind the line. I mean, when Queensland went into this, their books weren't as good as the other states and territories in so many cases. And so, yeah, I'd agree with you. It's going to be a tough job in terms of what she's inherited if she's to be elected Premier. But this is the point. Liberal and national governments, what we always do is put the focus on running a good and confident set of books. And we are very ambitious to achieve that. But the way we do it is we understand that you need the private sector to be ignited again. And that's how you'll achieve it here. That's how you do it. And I have no doubt that's the way she intends to do it.